Hello, this is part 63 of our comparative Bible study on the beginning of Jesus Galilean Ministry. During this part, we will talk about forswearing and what Jesus said about it in the Sermon on the Mount. Overall, this is our 103rd New Testament Bible study. During the last few Bible studies, we've been working down this, what I'm calling preliminary statements that the Lord Jesus makes in Matthew chapter 5 in the Sermon on the Mount, where he states what appears to be either a rule or maybe a saying that people are using, and goes on to say, "But I say unto you," in each of these statements. And our hypothesis is after he states that, "But I say unto you," he goes on to potentially clarify the original intent of that rule. For example, in the preliminary statement for this Bible study, the Lord Jesus states, "Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform it to the Lord thine oaths." Then the Lord Jesus goes on to state, "But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil." According to the definition in Strong's Concordance, the underlying Hebrew word translated as "forswear thyself" here in Matthew chapter 5 is to commit perjury. So, where did this saying of old time that the Lord Jesus is quoting here come from? For example, as we've discussed in recent Bible studies, it appears the first two preliminary statements came from the Ten Commandments, and the third one, which we just wrapped up, appears to come from, at least in part, Deuteronomy 24, verse 1. We wrapped up this discussion during the last Bible study. So how about the preliminary statement in Matthew chapter 5 verse 33 that we're going to try to discuss during this Bible study? What are the related verses? Additionally, when I looked at the commentaries, I saw quite a few verses listed. Especially when we read the Old Testament, we see that there was a problem with people worshiping false gods. There are also verses that indicate that they also swore by them. For example, in Jeremiah chapter 5, we read, "Have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods." And in Joshua 23, "Neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them." In contrast to this, in Jeremiah chapter 12, the Lord says to "swear by my name, the Lord liveth." Also, a couple of examples in Deuteronomy where, speaking of the Lord thy God, it states, "shalt swear by his name." But it be said that if the children of Israel were going to swear by the name of a God, that it needed to be the true God and not false gods. Along with the Israelites doing this is stated in Leviticus chapter 19. "Ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord." Some verses that stress the importance of the Israelites following through with the things that they swore by the name of the Lord can be found in Numbers 30, verse 2, where it states, "If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath, to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth." Likewise, in Deuteronomy 23:23 it states, "That which is gone out of thy lips thou shalt keep and perform, even a freewill offering, according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth." A similar sentiment can be found in the Psalms. For example, in Psalm 50 it states, "Pay thy vows unto the Most High." In Psalm 119 it states, "I have sworn and I will perform it." In Psalm 76, "Vow and pay unto the Lord your God." Could a summary of these verses be that if the children of Israel were to swear by God, it needed to be by the true God, and they needed to take it very seriously? And keeping in mind what we mentioned earlier about the possibility of not forswearing oneself as being not committing perjury, could the Lord Jesus have been talking about Leviticus 19:12, where it states, "And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord." And how can one profane the name of the Lord a lot? Maybe by vowing by his name and not doing it. As the Lord Jesus stated in Matthew chapter 5, verse 33, "Again ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths." Let's take a step back and look at what the Lord Jesus said after the "but I say unto you" again. Could the Lord Jesus be advising his disciples to avoid committing perjury or going against what the Lord said here about not swear by my name falsely, that they should instead swear not at all? Notice how the Lord Jesus goes on to give these examples about swearing by other things like heaven, earth, Jerusalem, or a person swearing by their head. Notice how the Lord Jesus will later say in Matthew chapter 23, beginning in verse 16, "Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whosoever therefore shall swear by the altar sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whosoever shall swear by the temple sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon." Here it appears the Lord Jesus is addressing some workarounds the Pharisees were trying to implement. In the Epistle of James, it's also stated to swear not. I heard a Bible teacher point out that the word oath is related to the word adjure, and when the high priest told the Lord Jesus, "I adjure thee," that was placing the Lord Jesus under an oath, not voluntarily. An important point here in the Epistle of James, similar to what the Lord Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, is, "Let your yea be yea, and your nay, nay," where yea and nay are essentially yes and no. In the military, such as in radio communications, the words affirmative and negative are used to mean yes and no. It's neat to me that in the United States, the language is often used to use swear or affirm. It is my understanding that this option to affirm or say yes has the same legal implications as swearing, but was done to accommodate religious conscience of not swearing. By the way, as you may recall, at the end of New Testament Bible Study 61, we discussed 2 oaths that people entered into to fast. Let's conclude here. Thank you for your time. If I got to share anything good, it's a blessing from God. Goodbye.